September the 20th, 2016. You're looking at NASA's Asteroid page, is what I call it, but this is about OSIRIS-REx, a mission that launched September 8th. And it's 4 asteroid missions in the last 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, lifts off from space at Launch Complex 41 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. It's carrying NASA's Origin, Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, Security Regolith Explorer, or OSIRIS-REx spacecraft on the first U.S. mission to sample an asteroid, retrieve at least 2 ounces of surface material, and return it to Earth for study. Liftoff was at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, you wonder why the latest polls in politics, guys, are saying that overall government trust level of the U.S. people is at its lowest in history. But with the economic problems that we have in this country, Flint, Michigan, for example, the water situations there, joblessness, homelessness, that they're going to spend billions of dollars to go out and take samples off the surface of an asteroid. Now, they're talking about asteroid Bennu. It's a large one, but they've shot 4 missions up in the last 4 months. Now, the reason I'm doing the video and what the questions were about was there's a video circulating saying that officials in Kuwait said that the U.S. has launched nuclear missiles at an asteroid, and that possibly has impacted. This is the latest one. So something headed towards our planet. And this one is the latest one because, if I'm not mistaken, one of the other ones broke it up into pieces. So maybe they're trying to knock down another piece. But guys, look at the situation on our entire planet. You know, you're talking about, I think about 65 million people right now are displaced on this planet, and we're going to go get 2 ounces of dust from an asteroid? Really? Anyway, what they're saying, September 23rd, 24th, would be impacts, and the information came from the guy doing the video, and I'm going to link to his video, that says he had a college friend that was from Kuwait. They went to University of Miami together, and he went back to Kuwait after they got out of school, I guess, but he is sent him an email. He said he's been knowing him 20 years and they're very good friends. That one of the officials told him that what's not being told is that these missions are about knocking out an inbound asteroid. Now, I don't know. I'm doing this video to show you what I know about the subject. There's no way that I would know really what any official in Kuwait was saying. If you go back to January 13th, my main channel had been hacked, and I put up the backup channel. Notice this is BP Earthwatch 2. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to it. It may come in handy one day, but it was the new Armageddon Division, NASA, and it's called the Complete Matrix. But NASA and FEMA have put together an Armageddon asteroid office to watch and do anything they need to do in case we have an incoming asteroid. But it is officially had been launched then. And the reason I had done that video is because NASA came out and unveiled what they were doing. And they're calling this the Planetary Defense Coordination Office. NASA's Armageddon Office aims to protect Earth from doomsday asteroids. And that's how we got the information to do the video back then. So we've been watching it, but they won't give you very much information. But when you're doing launch after launch in 4 months back to back, with the finances the way they are, and the situation on our planet with the new elections going on, Europe's falling to pieces, what's really going on? And the article there from the Huffington Post, I will link that. It's linked in that first video back in January also. But it says, rest a little easier tonight, Earthlings. NASA has just launched a new office aimed at protecting the planet from potential doomsday asteroids. The Planetary Defense Coordination Office will oversee all of the space agency's effort to detect and track near-Earth objects and coordinate with other federal agencies as well as other nations if and when it becomes necessary. The head of the department, Lindley Johnson, even has an awesome new title called the Planetary Defense Officer, PDO. NASA has been stepping up its efforts to protect the planet from a devastating impact, most recently teaming up with the National Nuclear Security Administration to work on a plan to use nuclear weapons to deflect an asteroid. If the agency and other international organizations aren't able to deflect the celestial body, NASA said the new department could work to prepare people on Earth by alerting those in the potential impact zone and assisting emergency response agencies such as FEMA. The formal establishment of the Planetary Defense Coordination Office makes it evident that the agency is committed to perform a leadership role in national and international efforts for detection of these natural impact hazards and to be engaged in planning if there is a need for planetary defense, Johnson said in a NASA news release. Now, Johnson's been with them. He was with the Near-Earth Object Program. We've seen it many times, guys, as we have tracked asteroids. They said NASA detects about 1,500 new near-Earth objects every year, and the agency believes it has found 90% of the objects that are 3,000 feet or bigger. Now they hope to detect smaller but still potentially dangerous objects about 450 feet or larger, about 75% of which are currently undetected. 455 feet, guys. The Russian meteorite, if I remember, was about 15 meters, maybe 45 feet. You saw that it damaged 2,000 buildings with the shock wave. This is, again, about 75% of which are currently undetected. Asteroid detection, tracking, and defense of our planet is something that NASA, its interagency partners, and the global community take very seriously. John Grunsfeld, Associate Administrator for NASA's Science Mission Directorate, said in the release, while there are no known impact threats at this time, the 2013 Cherub-Link Super Fireball and the recent Halloween asteroid close approach reminds us of why we need to remain vigilant and keep our eyes to the sky. The federal budget approved last month includes $50 million for near-Earth object observations and planetary defense, up from just $4 million in 2010, according to NASA reports. Looking at today's spaceweather.com, it's one of the links on our website, and that's the title, spaceweather.com. It's easy to go there. But today they're mentioning that the European spacecraft is set to crash into a comet on September 30th. Europe's Rosetta spacecraft will deliberately crash land on Comet 67P. We covered this extensively last year, and remember they sent a kind of a rover satellite down to the surface, and they lost it, and then they found it a few weeks ago. They had a picture of it. But guys, I've seen comets and asteroids. It didn't look like a comet to me. 67P had nothing to do, as far as I'm concerned, with a comet. It was a large rock. You can look at the pictures. Comets, I don't think you could land on an active comet. I just don't think. I think any spacecraft would be blown away backwards and away from this comet moving at the speed it moves with the amount of output. But I do not think 67P is a comet. I think it's an asteroid. Look that up. We got several videos. I think a lot of them got wiped out when all of my 2015 videos, about 700, were erased during the hack. But 67P, look at the pictures of it. I've seen comets. I've seen asteroids. It looks like a large rock. They're crashing into that on September 30th, they're saying. This is also on the same page, and it's the Potentially Hazardous Asteroid Program, PHAs, or space rocks larger than approximately 100 meters that can come closer to Earth by 0.05 AU. We've seen them come 0.003. But anyway, nothing is close on this chart. See the missed distance? Anytime it says 1 LD or even 0.5 LD, guys, that's half the distance to the moon. 3.6 LD means it's 3.6 lunar distances, or the distance from the Earth to the Moon from us. But the problem with this, and we've seen it time and time again, is that they will find them and discover them just the day before they're coming through or as they're passing. Because, face it, that's a lot of area to cover, and if they're coming from the sun, it's going to be very hard to detect. But we're going to be watching those. Notice the dates: September 17th, 18th, 20th, 30th, different pieces. Now, when you go up to the 1.1 kilometer and things like that, you're getting kind of large. So in those particular objects, and this is 2100 Rosh Shalom, October 9th, at 1.1 kilometer, even though it's that far away, these large objects can have a group with them. Smaller objects. That's the way a meteor shower works. They don't just spread out, they travel in that same pattern. So as these larger rocks are further out, then they can see them, but it's harder to detect. And usually it's a radar that's detecting them, the smaller objects that are with it. And we've seen it a lot of times. So we need to kind of pay attention to that, and we're going to watch the fireball reports that are coming in from the American Meteor Society. That will be a good way to determine it, and to watch what meteor showers are scheduled. But guys, again, that's all I know about this. The report is pretty much what I said. Guy got the information from Kuwait. We're trying to knock this asteroid out before it impacts around the 23rd to the 25th. Right in that time frame. All you got to do, and guys, there's a dozen videos out there. I'm not sure who the original video creator was. You can make and hunt it down, but just type in asteroid to strike Earth September 23rd through 25th, I think, and you'll see a couple of pages come up. But this is what I know about it, and this is how I feel about it. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I don't think they're going to spend that much money. When they say they're worried about Russia, they're worried about Syria, and our military is depleted, I don't think they're worried about 2 ounces of asteroid dust. We know what they're made of. They've impacted the Earth before. We can go dig them up. Heads up, be safe.